afternoon, everybody. As you can see, I'm in a different setting. It's not the prettiest, but it was available, so we're going to be here. Archives of the Eld, my old segment, it was fun to make, and I enjoyed it, but I think it's time for something new. And this is my new segment called Reading Through the Records, where I'm going to be reviewing The Flash, a Hempfield newspaper that has digital archives dating all the way back to 1933. Today, I'm going to be viewing a November issue from the year 1966. And it was released practically a week after my favorite album ever, Simon & Garfunkel's Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme. Class of '67, to enact comedy and drama. The headlining article describes upcoming plays performed by senior students. The two plays consist of a comedy named What's Wrong with the Girls and a drama named The Life and Death of Larry Benson. Provided is a photograph of seniors Laverne Searfoss, Clyde Hartentine, and Bruce Hippensteel rehearsing a scene from the drama. Following this is an article about the uprising in student teachers. It reads, Cadet Teachers Assigned to Posts. This blurb talks about the student cadet program and how the demand for cadet teachers was growing due to the success in the previous year. The next page greets an article named An Unpleasant Awakening, which describes a visit from pastor and youth worker Dr. Walter Kerr in an assembly. The main idea given by his speech was that our youth would be surpassed by the superior Russian youth unless Americans strengthened their spirituality, mentality, and physicality. He spoke repeatedly about the dangers of communism and, according to this writer, failed to explain why communism was a threat to our freedom and happiness. He makes a point about how the nation has to be strong enough to resist communism, but was unclear on how to accomplish the goal. The writer of this article states, propaganda and emotionalism should not be the basis of our opposition to communism. Rather, truth and sound economic thinking should be our reasons for standing firmly against this threat. Underneath this article is a short section talking about safety in the lab. In Goggles Everyone, the text talks about the act passed in 1965 that advised the use of safety goggles in conditions like the use of hot liquids, solids, gases, or explosive materials. The milling, sawing, turning, shaping, cutting, grinding, or stamping of solid materials, the heat treatment of metals or other materials, gas or electric welding, and the repairing of service vehicles. An article named Whom Are You Cheating? Touches on the subjects of cheating and moral decadence in the youth. This writer feels that adults of this time neglect to acknowledge that their generation was just as guilty and that cheating is not a new problem at all. They briefly blame the adults themselves for this problem, with overemphasizing good grades and setting poor moral examples. Below this is a piece titled Think Before You Act, and it starts off by addressing the vandalistic population of Hempfield, with questions like, do you paste paradoxic stickers on walls and doors, smear soap on windows, tear out stairway rails, and or carve your petty frustrations into the desks? It goes on to talk about school taxes from parents' money being used to fix these damages instead of being able to spend the money on something beneficial to these students. This type of message can still apply to students today. In this age, with security cameras, students still manage to destroy and vandalize unsurveillanced parts of the building. So while you sit here and complain about how much you think the school sucks, maybe think about the money that could be used to improve the student experience that is instead being wasted on your toilet paper-clogged urinals. This is the first episode of my new segment, and just like the last one, it's not going to be perfect. But I hope with these next 3 episodes, you enjoy learning about what Hempfield used to be as much as I do.